Hello and welcome back to the Dog Food Expert podcast. I'm Alex. Now, Daniel, over the past year, we've done deep dives into specific topics: allergies, dental health, gut health, behaviour. But today, we're stepping back and painting the full picture. If someone is sitting on the fence right now, wondering whether raw feeding is worth the effort, this is the episode that lays out every single benefit in one place.
Hi Alex, I'm really glad we're doing this. Sometimes when you break things into individual episodes, people miss the bigger picture. The reality is, when you switch a dog from a heavily processed diet to a fresh, species-appropriate one, you don't just improve one thing, you improve everything. The body works as a connected system, and when you fuel it properly, every system fires better.
Let's start at the very top. What is the first thing most owners notice after they switch?
Without fail, the first thing people comment on is the digestion. Within days, sometimes even the very first meal, owners notice that their dog's stools become firmer, smaller, and dramatically less smelly. Many dogs who were previously producing mountains of soft, foul-smelling waste are suddenly having compact, easy-to-pick-up poops.
Why does that happen so quickly?
Because fresh food is incredibly bioavailable. The dog's body can actually absorb and use the vast majority of what it's eating. There are no cheap fillers, no corn, no wheat padding things out. When there's less waste going through the system, there's less waste coming out. Plus, the natural enzymes and probiotics in raw food support a thriving gut microbiome from day one.
What comes next after the digestion improvements?
Usually within the first 2 to 4 weeks, the coat and skin transformation begins. This is the one that really makes owners emotional because it's so visible. The fur becomes noticeably softer, glossier, and thicker. Dogs that were shedding excessively often shed far less. And for dogs with dry, flaky, or irritated skin, you see a marked calming of the inflammation.
What's driving that change?
The natural animal fats and essential fatty acids, particularly omega-3 and omega-6, that are preserved in raw food. In standard kibble, these delicate fats are destroyed by the extreme heat processing. In fresh food, they remain intact and bioavailable, nourishing every single skin cell and hair follicle from the inside out.
Let's talk about something we covered in our dental episode: teeth and breath. Does a raw diet genuinely help?
Enormously. Standard kibble is packed with starches that coat the teeth like a sugary paste, feeding the bacteria that create plaque and that horrible doggy breath. When you remove those starches and replace them with fresh meat and raw edible bones, 2 things happen. First, the oral environment becomes hostile to plaque-forming bacteria because there's no sugar for them to feed on. Second, the physical act of crunching through raw, meaty bones mechanically scrapes the teeth clean. Owners often report that years of yellow tartar visibly recedes within months.
Now, energy and vitality. Do raw-fed dogs bounce off the walls?
They have more energy, but it's a different kind of energy. This is a really important distinction. Dogs on high-carb processed food often display erratic, hyperactive bursts followed by sluggish crashes, like a sugar rush. Raw-fed dogs get their energy from protein and healthy fats, which release slowly and steadily. The result is calm, sustained vitality. They're alert, engaged, and ready for a walk, but they can also settle beautifully at home.
That's what every owner wants. What about body condition? Do they look different physically?
Absolutely. Because raw food is so protein-rich and free of starchy carbohydrates, dogs tend to develop leaner, more defined muscle tone. They lose unnecessary fat and build functional muscle. You can often see a visible waist return on dogs that were previously carrying extra weight. Their overall body condition score improves dramatically.
Now, a big one: allergies and immune health. How does switching help?
The immune system is deeply connected to gut health. Around 70 to 80% of it lives in the digestive tract. When you feed a fresh, natural diet that supports a thriving gut microbiome, you are essentially supercharging the immune system. Many dogs with chronic allergies, itchy skin, hot spots, ear infections, weepy eyes, see massive improvements because you've removed the inflammatory triggers like artificial additives, grains, and processed proteins, while simultaneously strengthening the body's ability to regulate its own immune responses.
Are there mental and emotional benefits too?
Yes, and this is something people don't always expect. When a dog's blood sugar is stable, when their gut is healthy, when inflammation is down, they feel better. Just like humans, a dog that feels physically good is mentally calmer, more confident, and less reactive. Anxious dogs often become noticeably more settled. Reactive dogs can become easier to train. It doesn't replace behavioural work, but it creates the biological foundation for a balanced mind.
What about joint health, particularly for older dogs or larger breeds?
Raw diets naturally contain glucosamine and chondroitin from the cartilage, connective tissue, and raw bones included in the meals. These are the exact compounds that expensive joint supplements provide synthetically. By feeding a species-appropriate diet, you're providing ongoing, natural joint support every single day, which is incredible for both preventing deterioration in young dogs and managing stiffness in seniors.
And finally, longevity. Can feeding raw actually help a dog live longer?
There's growing evidence to suggest so. When every system in the body is functioning optimally, digestion, immunity, organ health, weight management, the overall biological load on the body is reduced. The dog isn't constantly fighting inflammation, processing synthetic chemicals, or dealing with nutritional deficiencies. Anecdotally, raw feeders consistently report that their dogs maintain youthful energy and vitality well into their senior years, and many believe it adds quality years to their lives.
That's an incredible list. Better digestion, beautiful coats, cleaner teeth, calm energy, lean muscles, fewer allergies, happier minds, healthier joints, and potentially longer lives. All from changing what goes in the bowl.
It really is that powerful, Alex. Food is medicine. When you give the body what it was designed to eat, it rewards you with health.
Brilliant. Thank you for the comprehensive overview, Daniel. And to everyone listening, if you needed one episode to convince you, this is it.